Hello friends, and welcome to our change in views. Well, it's week 3 and as you can see our views have not changed yet, and like we said, they're not going to change for a while. We're in the planning stage and we hope you'll join us because we have some new and quite unique ideas, and we have some thoughts on traditional things and some twists on what other people are already doing. But as we said, full disclosure, so this week we're going to run down some of the camera equipment we're using and show why we're using it and why we thought we'd use it. Did you see that drift across the screen then? I did. So where did we come from with the camera thoughts? Well, as you know, I did do a bit of I did do a little bit of work in my local church for cameras and sound. Mainly sound, but I was always a bit of a keen photographer before, so we knew that we needed to give out good quality video, and we hope that we are doing. Now, how did it all start? We could have used our first setup, because this is what I would have carried around normally. Never realised how heavy it was, so I bought a different camera. But this was the camera we used out and about Disney World, etc, etc. Of course I did have a camera stand for it. Where's my camera stand?
That would be me.
Oh yeah. Now, you might laugh, this is my wife, but this is also my camera stand. You see, Kelly is 4'11", so as you can see, I can see over the top of her. So when we went to different theme parks and parades, etc., it's hard for me to get down to the front of the viewing area, but not hard when you're small. So Kelly would go down to the viewing area, I'd go behind her, and guess what? She's the perfect size for putting my camera on. Smile! Go on, bugger off. Well, that's how we started with the cameras. But then we started thinking about it. We're going to do vlogging, so what kind of cameras do we want? What kind of cameras do we use? Well, the obvious one is a phone. I've got an iPhone, so you can't get much better, apart from if you want an Android. But it's an old iPhone. We've never been really one to keep up with the Joneses. I like something that does the job well, but not necessarily the most modern and up-to-date equipment. So when we thought about doing the vlogs, we first of all thought about the iPhone. And I checked the spec on my iPhone. I was pretty impressed with it. To say it's an iPhone 6, so it's not, like I said, it's a pretty old one now. But it had a fur camera on the back. Also has an alarm. Has a fur camera on the back, pretty poor on the front, and I have done some videos where I'm not looking at my own view, but it's kind of hard to frame the picture, and then because it's such a tight shot as well, you have to be kind of central. This one would have been better, but it just didn't have the pixels needed, or the frame rate or anything, which I mean, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I'm going to give you a demonstration in a minute of the different cameras. I'm going to film the rest of this this video, this vlog. I'm going to film the rest of this vlog using all the different settings we have. I'm going to start with this camera. Then I'm going to film with this camera. Well, no, actually I'm going to go the other way around. I'm going to show this camera, then I'm going to show this camera. I'm going to then add this light to this camera and that microphone to this camera, because yeah, I do have a light and a microphone. And we're going to show you, we're going to put the captions across the bottom so you can actually see the difference in quality. Because this is what I've looked at loads of videos on how to do this, what cameras to use, what not to use, but they don't really show you the good quality difference. So I'm going to do that. Then we're going to swap over to this camera, but unlike now where I have a microphone and a light, we're going to start off with just the camera, so you can see, if you just bought the camera, what kind of sound you would pick up, what kind of volume, what kind of light you would get. Then we're going to add to it this light, because I want to get you back in a good picture as quickly as I can, and then we're going to add the microphone. We're going to do this in stages. And I've got some different things behind me that you can see the colours of. I left my red t-shirt on, it's my work shirt. I thought it would give you a good sense of colour. And I've got this, just to show you some differences. Not that I'm going to do it, I've never managed it yet. So, hold on while we swap round and we'll give you some intros and some differences of what's going on. So, first of all, this is me on my iPhone. This is the front facing camera, so this is really a chat camera. Not meant for taking high quality videos, not meant for vlogging really. It's just meant for if you're chatting to somebody. Well, have I got a spot on my face or what? So, this is this camera, no lights, nothing extra. As you can see from the colours there, it's pretty, yeah, you know, not brilliant. But what we're going to do first is we're going to add a light to it. So we're going to give it a better light source. Right, so we're on the same camera, but now we've added a light source from our main camera, which is really doing pretty well. And hopefully already you start to see the benefits of a light source, because these colors are a lot more vibrant already. In fact, you can see the camera, the light reflecting in it. All the pains of photography, I'm afraid. But that is option number 2. Now, I'm going to go to option number 3, but we're going to have to play around with this because I don't know what I'm firing at. Right, so this is me on the front-facing camera, or the camera that is on the outside of the phone, so that people can see the better quality camera on the iPhone. Now, once again, this is without light, and this is with my able-bodied assistant filming me, so the chances are you're probably missing the top of my head. Now she's laughing now, so we've got a jiggly camera. Like I said, all the pains of photography, but there you go. Right, so we're going to change now to a light. Right, so now we're going to do the next section, and this one is with the same iPhone camera, which you'll get the information down here, and we have a light. So this is the better camera on the phone with a light. We're going to add some sound now. Wait for it. Right, so this is the phone outside camera. Once again, details below. But this time we've added what they call a shotgun mic, so it's aimed at me, and we've still got the lights. So this is the last of the iPhone. In a minute we're going to go over and show you everything. At the moment I'm going to just swap back to just the plain iPhone, because we want to show you the equipment we're going to use from here on in. So we're back on the iPhone at the moment. Hopefully we've got everything in shot. As I said, Kelly's really being trusted with this. And we're going to change over to the cameras that we bought, the equipment that we bought recently, just for the vlogging. We've gone with the Canon Rebel EOS. It does have the interchangeable lenses, which I'm sure you've all seen before. It is mirrored, but it does take a video. We bought this because it was in our price range. We bought it from a charity shop, it was not overly expensive, and it came with this lens. We've had to add a camera mount, which is a bit of a nuisance because it covers the little door that the battery comes out of, and the SD card. We've had to buy a SD card that has a high rate of writing speed, because you have to be able, if you don't, you'll get flicker and all sorts on your shots. This is where we're up to at the moment. We're going to swap over to this now to give you some better films, but before we do, we're going to start film with this camera on its own. Then we're going to add this, which is a light source on top of it. We will then film with this camera with a light source. At that point, we're going to add on to it its microphone, and we're going to put the microphone in and show you the full setup. So we're going to get back to our normal speed. Bear with us while we swap around cameras. So we're back on the Canon camera. This is a Canon camera without a light and without any microphone. It's a step up from this. We wanted to get a quality that we could build on, that although was not the top end, was by no means the bottom end. Hopefully you can see the difference with this. I've not turned the light on yet, I've not plugged the microphone back in. One downside is we do not have one of these flip out viewfinders that show us what the camera's taking. This has been a bit of a problem. We just get around it by putting it on a stand, and then we will let's see what my editing skills are like, shall we? Actually, let's not. It just shows we're human beings. Do you know when you lose your thread, you lose your thread? And when there's a camera aiming at you, you might as well be stood in front of a room of people, because your mind just goes blank and you just don't know where you're up to. Well, that was embarrassing, but just shows we're normal human beings here. I've turned the light on now, so now you're getting a picture of us with the camera, Canon camera, with the light. No sound still, but at least you get to see the difference in the light, and you'll see the difference with me hopefully. No shadows, and better skin tone. Probably showing this spot up on my head a lot more. I don't know where it came from. I think something bit me out in the Florida wilds. But this is the Canon camera with the light. Details are going to be below again. We're going to change over to the sound and then explain a bit more. So, last fade in. Hopefully this is the full setup. What we've got now, we've got the Canon camera with the light and the microphone. The microphone is what really gave us the problems. To try and find a microphone solution, everyone seems to have their own options and their own price ranges. We couldn't afford a lot. Some of the microphones were costing 100, 150 just for the entry point microphones to mount on the camera. Then you got the ones with the little leads that come across and fasten to your jacket. The problem with them is you walk off, you forget you fasten to it, and the camera comes over. That I didn't want. So we've, and of course the other option is the wireless ones, but I just didn't have $300–400 to spend on a wireless mic. So we went for a fairly cheap option. I think this microphone cost us $30–40. And I'm not promoting anything in here. I've not put up it's a paid promotion, because it's not. This is more for information, to give you some ideas. I'm not even going to put the details of what we're using below, because that would be a paid, probably fall under a paid promotion, and we're not used to this yet. So but this is our setup. Better than this, we do have one other feature that you've not seen, and that's our auto cue system. Hopefully so I don't muff my lines. You see I'm not using it, but I'm going to take a picture of it. So this is our whole setup, and hopefully you can see our really state-of-the-art auto cue system. This is it, folks. We're using a MacBook to do the editing on. Once again, it's an older one, but it works. And we're using the iMovie on the Mac. I'd like to move up to a better one, but they're very, very expensive. I think we're going to stick with this setup for the time being. It will do everything we need to in here. We have looked at the GoPros, and there's another nightmare. The GoPros go from the GoPro up to the GoPro 10 with all different variations, some of which I've not even worked out yet. Hopefully someone's going to put some comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the little bell. Or press the little bell so it rings when we put up our next video. We're not going away, folks. It's a long journey. It's going to be changing views over 4,500 miles. It's going to be worth the journey, and we got some good ideas, so I hope you stick around. But back to GoPros. GoPros don't have a front facing camera. We've tried everything to get a camera that we can take out and vlog with while we're walking, but you've got to have that flip out screen so you can see what the camera can see, because at the moment I'm just looking at a lens. I don't know if I'm in shot, I don't know if I'm out of shot. I could move a bit. I'm just presuming I've got myself lined up. I've lined up with different things in the store, and I think I've got it lined up. To get one of the smaller cameras with a flip out screen, you're talking major investment, and I don't think we're up to that yet. I'm definitely not up to paying that money out. We've looked at the GoPros. The problem is they don't have good sound. They have terrible sound. They weren't made for vlogging, they were made for action shots and action footage. But the vlogging community is to kind of take them up and use them. You can add microphones on, but not all of them, and you need an add-on that's nearly as big as the camera itself. So it kind of gets a mess. It kind of looks like a knot of cables and fixtures on a pole that you kind of use. Our main thing we thought was because you don't have that front facing camera that you're not going to get it. It seems to be what they rely on is a very wide angle lens. You don't need to try and aim it at yourself because it's got such a wide angle lens. You're going to be in the shot. As long as you're roughly pointing at yourself, you're going to be in the shot. It's something to look at in the future. We haven't got there yet. We're still in training. We're still trying to put this together. I'm going to be training Kelly at the moment, in a moment, to do some editing and some slides, etc. We are learning as well. If you know any facts and figures, please feel free to comment. Give us advice. If you know of a better microphone, give us advice. If you think that the lighting's too harsh or not harsh enough, this lighting system is set to the first level. It's got 5 levels. I've set it to level 1. If you've never stood in front of one of these cameras with a light on, you know why I've set it to 1, because this is quite it's like driving at night with someone coming towards you with a headlight on. It really is quite, whoa, you feel as though you want some sunglasses on. And this is level 1. If I ramped up to level 5, I'd be stood here talking to you like this because I wouldn't know where you are and what you're doing. I guess I'm rabbiting, guys. We're going to call it a day here. This is vlog number 3, giving you an insight into cameras and equipment. I hope it helps you. If you're looking to set up a vlogging setup, I hope this gives you some straightforward, common sense advice that lets you see the differences, and just that little bit of the thing I was hoping for. I've taken some of the guesswork out. This is what we've got. This is what we're going with. I'm just about to change views because I'm just about to go off here. Thank you for joining us. We're desperate to get this channel up and running. Please subscribe. It's down there somewhere. I'm going to put a link on again. I put a link on last week's video. It didn't work. I'm going to try again. There's a link down here to subscribe. Ring the little bell if you want to know when we're on. We're going to be posting every Tuesday. And please keep here for the model we're going to make. You can't have a narrowboat channel without a narrowboat. But we are not near a canal at the moment, and we're still in that planning phase. We're really into the planning phase. So we're going to buy a narrowboat over the next 2 weeks. The only difference is we're going to make it. We're going to make a narrowboat, and we're going to make it in here. 57-foot narrowboat in here. Yeah, we're going to build it 1/12 scale. For people that know, that's the dollhouse scale. But we're going to build a 57-foot narrowboat in 1/12 scale. That's 1 inch to a foot. That makes it, for all you mathematicians out there, you'll know, 57 inches long. So we're going to have a 57-inch narrowboat with removable bits so we can show you all the different layouts, etc. And we'll go into some facts from there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because I've never done it before. I've kind of got some experience in model making, but not a great lot. You're likely to see me with my fingers stuck to pieces of board and all sorts. Stick around. Come and see us on Our Change Your Views. Bye now.